Alrighty, it looks like I'm live. Just give me a minute for YouTube to refresh here. Yeah, I'm live. Hey guys, welcome to another shorter, or not shorter, but liver episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, honestly, I had to leave the office early. I didn't have time to record a video, and I felt guilty. So I figured I'd hang out with you guys for a little bit, and you guys could ask me your questions. We're joined by, let's see, Jack Purcell, hey buddy, Larry Simon, Ani, Hans, NK, Greg. Thank you all for joining me today on this live stream. Wow, already 56 people, 63. Wow, the counter's really going up. But yeah, I figured I'd start the video before we get into the EMA with answering another question. And that is a question I got a lot in my last video where I talked about watches that were a great value. And I listed some watches and told you the prices they were selling for. And there was a Girard-Perregaux Laureato Evo 3 that I said was listed for $3,500, which is insane. I mean, insane price for the watch. The watch was well over $15,000 retail. And I got a bunch of emails asking me, hey, Fed, I can't find it anymore, or it's already sold. You know, what happened to it? The truth is, after an hour of releasing that video, I bought the watch myself. It was listed on Time Zone. It was $3,500. I actually got it for a tiny bit less. It's got the moon phase and the power reserve. I really, really like it. So, guys, that is actually going to be my early birthday present to myself. But to everybody who couldn't find it, unfortunately, I snagged it myself. I figured I'd want to answer that question. It's been on my wrist for 2 days, and you know what? It's not coming off. I love it. Yeah, I know it's not for everybody, but I love the watch. It scratches that Genta design itch for me. Obviously, I know it's not a Genta, but in-house movement, moon phase, integrated bracelet, all that good stuff. I absolutely love it. But yeah, let's get to the comments. The Watch Lounge says, what are your thoughts on the sector dial? Still waiting on mine to get in. Well, the Watch Lounge, are you talking about the JLC sector dial? If so, I love it. I find it to be one of the most beautiful watches in the world. I'm just disappointed that they originally started the production saying it was a one-year boutique exclusive, and it was selling so well that they decided to make it unexclusive, which I think kind of shafts everybody who bought it for the exclusivity, but, business is business. Bud the Stud, what's up, Federico? Wearing my bronze Black Bay right now. Bud, thank you so much. By the way, he bought it at delraywatch.com. Shameless plug, check out my website. Thanks so much for checking in. I hope you're enjoying it, brother. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let me see. Vlog O, and a few Russian letters, which I can't pronounce. Federico, what is your opinion on the Hulk's future? You know what? I don't know. I think it really is going to depend on whether it's discontinued. I think the prices are inflated. I own one myself. It certainly isn't a small, the demand is high, but the production's not particularly small. They make thousands of them. I think if it gets discontinued, it'll absolutely skyrocket. But for right now, I don't think it can go much higher. But every time someone asks me that, I'm wrong, to be honest. Let's see. Grim Reaper says, hey, Federico, I just want to know, will you ever buy a G-Shock for myself? Truth is, Grim Reaper, I've almost bought it a bunch of times. It's very inexpensive. The ones I like the squares. I can get them for under $50, but it's not about the money for me. The truth is, I think it would be a waste. While I do think it's super cool, I just don't see myself wearing one. Not because I don't like it, but because I have other choices. And for that reason, I decided not to go for it. Daniel Thompson, what do you think about the Glycine sale on their watches? Daniel, Glycine is always on sale. There's never been a time Glycine has not ever been on sale. It's always heavily discounted. Do they make bad watches? Not at all. I think they're actually quite good, especially when they used Eddas. Now they use Salitas, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing, but I think for the price they're a good watch. But let's not pretend like a glycine sale is a big deal because it happens all the time. I don't think anybody in the history of glycine has ever bought one full price. We'll see. This guy's a shill. He doesn't appreciate Grand Seiko. Will, I always say I like what I like. You know, Grand Seiko makes a fantastic watch. Is it my taste? No. I resonate a little bit more with the Swiss and German brands. But if you can't respect somebody else's opinion, unfortunately, that makes you very close-minded. Seiko Tuna, let me see here. Jeremy Levine, hey Federico, am I better off wearing an IWC Portuguese or a Cartier Santos with a navy tuxedo for a wedding? Jeremy, strictly speaking, I'd say neither. You'd have to go with a very small gold watch, in my opinion. A lot of people disagree with me, but if I had to pick between those two, I'd say the Santos. While the Portuguese is a dressy chronograph, it still is a chronograph, and tuxedos are the dressiest of formal wear. So I'd avoid the chronograph if I was you, in my humble opinion. Quiet Life. Hey, Fed, how do I get a cheap Rolex diver? Steal one. Not to be rude, brother, but there's no such thing as a cheap Rolex diver. It's not going to happen. Joanne Valise, do you think it's possible to find the new or new old stock Speedy Mark 40 in today's market? Joanne, I mean, I think it is possible. I think it's going to be difficult, and I don't think you're going to want to pay the price when you see one. I mean, I sell Mark 40s between $3,200 and $3,600. If I had a completely new old stock one, I'd be selling it for $7,000, and I'd just wait for the right collector to come about. I mean, no old stock is a massive premium, and it's only for the right people. Ooh, let's see. Edward Jasko. Hey, Fed, just want to say hi. Love your videos. You're a pro. Thank you so much, man. So much kindness today. So much kindness. Fed, I need a cool watch. This is from Brand 700 for the beach, away from Rolex. I have a Hulk already. Want to switch it up? Hey, man, unpopular opinion, but check out Panerai. I think the Panerai 24, the Luminor Submersible, or the 1024, or really any of the 44 millimeter Panerais or 47 ones are a great way to go. Let's see. Yogi Savage, controversial question. What do I think of Steinhardt overall? Well, Yogi, here's the thing. I don't hate them. I think they make a quality watch for the price. I don't think they're bad timepieces, but it's a company that, while they do make their own designs, they are known for their homages. And I'm not a huge homage guy because there's so many cool designs that could be had that are original for that price range. I mean, I like Steinhardt, but to me, I couldn't wear one. It just doesn't feel right. And that's 100% a personal opinion. As I said, I don't think they're a bad brand by any stretch of the imagination. Number 8 says, do you think Rolex will stop making the Milgauss? I do. I mean, they've already discontinued the white dial and the black dial. They only make the colored crystal versions right now. So I do think eventually they will. Mark Little, would you swap a Hulk for a Batman? If I was talking about profit, yes, absolutely swap it. The Batman is going higher up in value, but personally, I think the Hulk is a much nicer watch. The Batman is just a GMT with a blue hand and half a blue bezel, which is not really blue, it's more like purple. I don't like the Batman at all, but price-wise, it would be an intelligent swap. Let's see. Kenneth Kostek, Breitling Super Ocean. Do you recommend it? Does Del Rey watch have any? Well, buddy, we're going to have a Super Ocean in stock at the end of next week, a Super Ocean Heritage 42. It's a nice watch. It's well made. ETA 2824. Don't pay retail for it. You're gonna, lose your shirt on that one. But it's really not a bad watch, and it does have quite a bit of heritage to it. Whew. Let's see. Martin Hansen. Okay, this is a great question. Also, might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion on my part. He asks, Ball watches, what's their future? Any thoughts? Honestly, I think they make a very good watch. I'm not going to talk about the quality of their product, but I don't see them having a future. This is very similar to a brand like Glycine. They're perpetually sold on closeout, and you can buy them on the gray market for more than 50% off. They hold little to no value. They're playing off their American heritage, and they're not even doing that particularly well. They're not spending a lot on marketing. I know the owner of the rights of Ball USA, and all he cares about is the money. Personally, no, I don't think Ball has a future, which is a shame because the tritium gas tubes are great. They make a solid watch. Aesthetically, it's not for me, but any brand that is willing to sacrifice their brand equity and their image just to get the sale is a brand that will not be around much longer. James CH, I never got a notification for your video despite using the bell. Sorry, brother, I don't know what to tell you. YouTube is not always the easiest thing. Let's see here. Deek013. So the chemical burns on your hands. Wempe Fight Club? No. It's burns from the acid used to test gold. I used to do a lot of gold buying, and eventually I would kind of not know which acid is which, and I would test it on my hand. And unfortunately, I got these marks. But eventually, I'm gonna get like a microdermabrasion or anything. They're not permanent. I just haven't really taken care of it, unfortunately. Laline Robles, hello, Fed from Peru. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Thoughts on the new Seamaster 300? I've given my thoughts on this quite a bit. I hated it when it first came out in pictures. I thought the new wave dial was a bit much, but after having gotten one in, I actually rather like it. It is still a little thick for me, and the 1 millimeter change in size is not my preference, but the dial is much nicer in person than in pictures. It's not too strong. Do I like it? Not really, but it is a very good watch, and I am warming up to it. Daniel W. Do you think Maurice Lacroix Icon is underrated? Love the videos. Cheers from Germany. Thanks, Daniel. I do think it is underrated. The Maurice Lacroix Icon is a very cool watch, but once again, they will always be underrated until Maurice Lacroix fixes their brand. I put them in the same category as Ball, unfortunately. Let's see. Who else is asking? Brandon Abrams, FP Journe Chronometre Bleu. Is it worth the hype and the 9-month boutique waitlist? It is absolutely worth the hype. It's beautiful in real life. It's a very well-made watch. The waitlist isn't really 9 months. Go in, put down your name. I went into the boutique a month ago, put down my name. They had no idea who I was. I didn't get any special treatment. I told them I would pay cash on the spot. 3 weeks later, I got a call saying my Chrono Blue was in. I didn't end up getting it because I was just testing the wait list. Yeah, it's not really 9 months. I mean, it might be a few months, but it's not 9 months. At least it wasn't in Miami. TCH, hello from Switzerland. Thank you so much. Christopher Pedersen, what happened to your eye? Unfortunately, had a little bit of is it this eye or that? Allergic reaction. No big deal at all. It's a little puffy. Allergy season. Love your Matteo Sebastiano. Love your videos, Fed. Thank you so much. Let's see. Keslowitz, Fed, Vacheron Overseas 3-hand black dial 4500V. What do you think? 19.5 retail, is it a good deal? No, not particularly a good deal. the new overseas is not particularly well loved, I will think the price is going to go down on that one. M-Suite. Microbrands, ever a good buy? M-Suite, actually, they are. It depends. I'm well known as a microbrand hater, but I did recently buy a microbrand by the name of Ming, a watch that's actually greatly appreciated in value because there was something special about it. It wasn't just another Kickstarter microbrand available to the masses. They were very limited production, interesting story, extremely well made, and something different about them, their design and their materials. And that ended up driving up demand. 95% of microbrands are a waste of time, in my humble opinion. Of course, I always say buy what you like, though. However, yeah, I do think there are a few microbrands that are worth it. Take a look at Brellam, Ming, Dubuis et Fil. Talker is actually pretty interesting as well. Few interesting microbrands. Let's see, any more questions? How much for stuff for no sub? Oh, Stephen Murray says Baltic. Yeah, Baltic is also rather nice microbrand as well. Carassus, hey Fed, John P. talked about a stripper who bought a day date a few weeks ago. Do you have a follow-up on the story? No, I don't. We try and keep it appropriate at Del Rey Watch. Oh man, the Watch Lounge says Zelos is good. Yes, I did review a Zelos. I did think they were actually quite good. Stephen Bowden, sorry I missed your question, buddy. I know you asked a couple of them. He says, what makes a watch a compressor? Officially, I don't know the official answer to that question, but in my mind, what makes a compressor is a watch with a double crown and some kind of water resistance. That's what I think makes a compressor. Reza R. Can Lange Saxonia be a one signature watch? Not entirely sure what you mean by that. Sakar Abdallah, you said profit margin for authorized dealers is 35%. So my question is, on a Rolex that costs $15K, if I offered $11K, is that lowballing and acceptable? Yeah, that is absolutely lowballing. Dealers don't have to discount Rolex. They can sell it without discount, unless you're buying a fully gold model. But at $15K, there is no fully gold model. If they have it in stock and the price is $15K, guess what? You're going to pay $15K if you actually want to walk out with it. Unfortunate truth. Yuri says, how do I identify watch movement? Well, Yuri, unfortunately, just experience. I've just seen a lot of watch movements, and eventually it's like looking at someone's face. I can recognize them, and I know what they are. So it is what it is. Chris Clark says, my favorite watch store at NYC. Shout out to my boys at Wempy. Yes, I used to work there, but that is the coolest watch store in America, in my opinion. Great selection, great service, really nice people. Love them to death. Love them to death. Cellini Jewelers also is pretty good, and London Jewelers, but they're outside the city. But Wempy is where my heart is. Love them. Let's see. Do you watch or listen to the Joe Rogan Experience? I don't. I've heard it's hilarious, but no, I don't watch Joe Rogan. I might start, though, if it gets recommended enough. Let's see. James says, why no love for vintage? James, it's just not my thing. I have a little love for vintage. I can appreciate it, but it's just not, it doesn't connect with me 100%. That's more John's thing, but what can I tell you? It's generally not my taste. Ask Kirpin, and I knew someone was going to ask this. He says, what about TGV? Well, guys, this YouTube channel is about watches, not a big gossip guy. So I just want to talk about watches, nothing else. I leave everybody else to do their own thing. Here at FTW, Federico talks watches. He says, let's see, who's next? Lee's Music. Hey, Fed, can I get a wristwatch check? I'm wearing a Gerard Perregaux Laureato Moon Phase that I just got a few days ago. Quite like this bad boy. I know there's a little bit of glare. Can't really see it too well, but yeah, I'll do a review of this eventually for sure. Let's see. Rodrigo says, "Hey, Fed. Hey, buddy. How you doing?" William Fry, Grand Seiko. I actually talked about Grand Seiko earlier in the video. Go check that out. James says, "What do you think about Caseback watches?" I've watched a couple of his videos. He's pretty hilarious, if you ask me. But generally, I don't watch much timepiece YouTube content. I don't know why. I certainly used to watch a ton of it, but maybe it's to avoid burnout. I work with watches all day. I make watch YouTube videos, and sometimes I just need a little bit of a break. Jesus841, will you buy a Piaget or a Breguet first? I don't know. That is a really tough question. Not entirely sure. Probably a Piaget, though, because I used to work for him and I have that affinity. Jack Parcell, Hulk ceramic versus aluminum. Which do you prefer? Well, Jack, the Hulk is ceramic. The Kermit is aluminum. I mean, I prefer the Hulk, personally. But on the black sub, I do prefer the aluminum. So, Gangsta, if you could bang one porn star, who would it be? Oh, man, honestly, not sure. Too many to pick. I'll think about that and get back to you. Geez, a lot of these questions are hilarious. Keslowitz, Fed, what is your ultimate grail watch? Not entirely sure. Probably the FP Journe Zodiac calendar. I really, really love that. Let's see, we had an interesting question here. Michael Marchetta. What is, actually, I missed the question. The chat is moving too quickly. Tell us more about your Italian heritage. What brought you to the U.S.? Well, Michael, my parents, I'm Italian. My entire family is Italian. We're from Naples, Italy. They used to work in fashion. I moved here when I was a really little kid to New York. I grew up in New York. I moved to Spain. Then after Spain, I moved back to New York. Now I'm in Miami. But my whole family is Italian. I try and go there once a year. Obviously, I love the food. I love the culture. I'm a very big family man. Family is extremely important to me. It's probably the most important thing in my life. And I do consider myself more Italian than American, but I love the U.S. as well. It's been very good to me, and I am a patriot. I appreciate everything about the U.S., but I guess ultimately my heart lies with Italy. Let's see. SoCal Watch Reviews. What does your family think of being a YouTuber? You know what? My family thinks it's really, really cool. My mom gets a kick out of it, actually. They never thought, and I never thought it was actually going to become a serious thing. But they've always supported me, and I love them for it. Hashim YM, can you show your watch collection? Well, I've got a couple of watches on my desk here, but I wasn't prepared to show my watch collection. I've got the GP on my wrist, then my Tourneau Moon Phase by Walden International. I've got my SKX, which is always my backup watch. And I've got my Panerai Luminor Daylight. Obviously, I have more watches than that, but I'm not very organized, and those are just the ones that are kind of around. SoCal, thanks for answering my questions. Love from Southern California. Thanks so much, man. Jared Packer, supercharger or twin turbos? Brother, it's all about twin turbos. I own a twin turbo car. That's the way I do it. Vlog, Federico, how's your Maserati doing? I love the damn thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a great car. Has a few electrical gremlins, but I was sure I was going to run into those eventually. Um, I Yeah, I mean, I love it to death. It's not for everybody, but I live with the little quirks of it. Um, let's see. With W. Snyder, how do I get over the idea I'm not a real collector because my collection is in hand? Mr. Snyder, that's in your head, man. I can't tell you how to get over that. I can tell you it doesn't matter what you collect. I mean, I know there's some channels that say, Rolex or bust or you're not a real collector. That's bullshit, man. Just enjoy yourself, buy what you can afford, and you know what? If you save up long enough, you'll get there. Watch snobbery is really awful. I mean, it really is awful. um, let's see. Youth Magoof says, which watch brands did you see needing the most repairs? For example, Blancpain, watches that come in for repair the most. Well, Frederic Piguet movements are, particularly the chronos, those I've had a lot of repairs. Blancpain, I've had quite a few repairs. Frank Mueller always seems to show up. I don't say there's one particular brand. I know some brands have bad reputation for repairs, but honestly, I haven't had that much bad luck. So it is what it is. O'Neill Miller, what's your Independence Holy Trinity in your opinion? It would be FP Journe. It would be Philippe Dufour, has to be put up there. Man, this is really hard. And then the third one for me is Vianney Halter, but he could also be replaced with George Daniels, maybe Kerry Woodalainen. No, but it would be Vianney Halter, FP Journe, and Philippe Dufour. That would be the ones for me. Anyway, guys, we're running on to about the half-hour mark. I want to thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everybody's question, but I want to thank everybody for joining me today. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate all the love, everything I have built over the past couple of years. It's thanks a lot in part to the support from you guys. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend, fellas. Take care.